Hey everybody, welcome. Here I have Camilla, and she is the founder and owner of Chosen Creative. So tell us a little, what is Chosen Creative?
We are an invitation company, invitation and stationery company. We're located here in Sugar House, Utah, but we do wholesale nationwide, and we do everything from greeting cards to custom stationery to notebooks to journals, pencil pouches, everything paper.
Wow.
Everything paper.
So the other day, you were telling me that when I first asked you what you did, you said we are an emotional...
I'm an emotional communication specialist.
Okay. So why an emotional communication specialist rather than a stationery creator?
Because stationery words, they pull out feelings in people. We believe in the power of the pen. And as you write letters to family members that you care about, it invokes a feeling. Mm-hmm. And so I'm an emotional communication specialist. Stationery, wedding invitations, it does the same thing. You look at a wedding invitation and you think, oh my goodness, this is a reflection of this couple together.
Right.
And it invokes a feeling.
So you could say your mission statement is to evoke feelings?
Yes.
Or what, do you have a mission statement right now?
Our mission statement is, we believe in the power of the pen. So anything that helps you start writing and getting your thoughts onto paper, that's what we want to do. We want to provide the vehicle for that.
Okay. And so often, I'm assuming so often that vehicle, that feeling is so rooted in like feelings very, very deep inside of us. Like we want to express something, we want to show a creative idea we had, and that's why the emotional communication specialist comes into play.
Correct. Benjamin Franklin, Winston Churchill, they were all masters of words.
Right.
And we have gotten away from, as a society, with text messages and acronyms and
Emojis.
email, we've gotten away from the emotional part of writing. And a well-written letter has pulled countries into war and has pulled countries away from war.
Right.
And so we want people to get back to the art of that. But it is a movement. We're not alone. There are letter writing societies around the nation, and there's people that do what I do, so paper has never died.
Right. So have you seen or listened to the musical Alexander Hamilton?
My kids love that. I've never seen it. Now I've listened to some of their music, but no, I haven't. Tell me.
Okay, so for those of you guys that don't know, I am a huge, like when I try to get like motivation, when I try to really motivate myself, I'll turn on some music. But it doesn't have to, it's not just, any songs, it has to have a story behind it. And Alexander Hamilton, one of our founding fathers, the whole story is how he's overcoming this massive challenge of starting a country. And back then, the way he influenced people was by writing. Mm-hmm. And so there's a theme throughout the whole musical. I've never seen it, I just listened to the soundtrack. Mm-hmm. Is like you're writing like you're running out of time.
Yes.
Right, and so I love Alexander Hamilton. I literally listen to it once a week to just get me in the mindset when I have a huge project that I'm about to tackle.
That's beautiful. I'll have to listen to it more. I didn't know that.
It's kind of cool, especially because he's an immigrant, comes up from nothing, and him and I, in my mind, we share a very similar background. I'm not an immigrant, but coming up from a family that didn't have a base family.
Right.
Okay, so let's just dive in. Right now, what are you doing to get the word out here in Sugar House and for wholesale? What's your main marketing channel?
Instagram. I use Facebook also, but Instagram is my main tool. And I run the Utah Letter Writing Club, so we do a lot of it. We do a lot of marketing that way. So I have two different, both on Instagram, but two different Instagram pages, and I just drive that traffic to the shop. But I'll tell you, the online sales aren't as good as I think they should be, right? And the local traffic isn't anywhere where I want it to be.
Right.
And I've been told you should do more shows. Well, shows requires time out of our shop, which means we have to close. We're a small business, right? So I would prefer to find ways. That's a challenge I'm facing right now. Because the moment someone figures out we're here, they're like, oh, we didn't even know you were here. This is the fun little spot. We would have been here, right?
Right. Right. So when you say shows, you're talking about trade shows.
Trade shows.
Events, as
Correct.
far as like having a table and kind of just trying to grab people from the audience and saying, hey, come check us out.
Correct.
Like, we're right down the street.
Okay. Which those trade shows cost hundreds of dollars. I would prefer to try and figure out a way to put that into the social media. And then that's why I've only done one trade show this year, is because of the financial commitment.
Right. And then if you think about that and dig a little deeper, you're not only paying for the booth space, but you have to pay for the experience.
Correct.
And so with you wanting to evoke emotion, it's no longer a table is good enough. You need banners, you need a tent, you need samples, you need people to actually touch and feel the paper so they can see like, wow, this is, like there is power behind this.
Yes.
And if I send this to someone, it's going to mean so much more than a quick thank you text or even a phone call.
Right.
Right. So let's dig into the Instagram strategy a little bit. What's your current following?
Currently, we're at 962 followers as of today.
Okay. And what is your handle? I know Twitter handle, but what's your...
At Chosen Creative.
At Chosen Creative. Okay, so if you guys are interested at all of beautiful designs, go follow them and go check them out.
Please. Please do.
Okay, so right now, what is your strategy to grow that following?
So as we develop new product, I use several hashtags that are industry hashtags for stationery that I know a lot of people follow that have millions of followers, and I run Instagram and Facebook ads. And that's really what I do, and I'll drive that traffic to my website to buy, and then when we pick up a new wholesaler, because we do wholesale nationwide, and I'll announce, hey, there's a shop in your area that now carries our line. Go check them out.
Okay.
So I do those things.
So if you had to choose just one, the wholesale route or direct to consumer, what path would you choose?
I want them both. I mean, can a girl have them both? I really would want them both.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. If I had to choose one right now, I would choose to build up the Salt Lake market, because we're here. We're here. And for them, they don't have to pay shipping, and they can come in and see us, and they can place, like right now we're doing graduation announcements. They can come in and they can work with me, and we can put that together. It's a lot less expensive to use a designer anyway than it is to use like a .com, one of the national companies. You can't see the paper, you can't touch it. Sometimes the printing quality isn't what you thought.
Right.
So I would love to build up the local market.
Especially get your base in. And okay, so if we only had to choose one, let's pretend that you're very, you strapped for time. You don't have million hours a week that you can build out both.
Right.
Right. And so let's just dive into the local market and how you're going to go directly to consumer.
Okay.
Now, it would be awesome, I'm sure you understand this, if you could literally take your 9,000 followers, 9,000 or 900?
900.
900. You could take those and go down to Zions Bank, go down to the local bank and say, cool, look, I have 900 followers, give me some money for them. But it doesn't work that way, right? And so a lot of businesses that I talk with, they focus so much on that social proof, growing Instagram, growing Facebook, and they use the metrics of, hey, look how many likes we got, look how many comments we got, as a signal, as a measurement milestone of we're growing and we're doing well. However, if you listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, which is who I told you about.
Yes, I follow
week,
him.
And his whole strategy, he'll say quite often, like, what is the ROI, return on investment of social media? And you can't necessarily prove it because you're building a brand.
Right.
However, it would be so cool if we could just build a brand and you could take those likes and cash them in for money. But we have to convert the audience to sales or we don't survive.
Yes. And how do you do that? That's like the missing link for me, I feel like.
Right. And that's a lot of, like, we can build an audience, but a lot of people, it's the same thing for a lot of people. So first of all, let's jump into the consumer's mindset.
Okay.
Right? Because it's, we're trying to provide a service, a product for them so that they can better their lives. Right? And so for consumers, we buy things for one of three reasons. And it's to accomplish goals in our life. One is an economical goal. Like, hey, I want that price point and that's why I'm going to purchase it. Right? So let's think of a Mercedes or a Ferrari, right? People purchase those cars to fulfill an economical goal. They want to be seen as, hey, look, I drive a Ferrari, or I drive this Mercedes, Lexus, or any high-end car, right? But it also works the other way, where it's, hey, I don't want to be seen as I'm extremely rich or I have all this money, and I want to buy something that's just going to work.
Right.
Right. So I'm gonna shop at Walmart, I'm going to buy shoes from there because I don't really care if they're a known brand. I just want shoes that are comfortable. Right? Those are both economical goals.
Okay.
Right? And then you have functional goals. Okay, this is something completely different. And functional goals are when people buy something because it just simply fulfills a need. Right? So I need to send out graduation announcements, so I'm going to buy something that does that, a full service plan. And then lastly, you have emotional goals. Now, emotional goals is where every brand wants to be, but you can't do it. Literally, it's impossible.
Really?
Yeah. And the reason why, I'm just going to use the gym, for example. Right? Vasa Fitness is a very big local gym here in Utah, and if I sign up, I'm not going to lose weight.
Right.
Right? They want me to believe that once I sign up, I'm going to lose weight. But it doesn't matter how much money I give them, I'm not going to lose weight. I'm not going to get a shredded six-pack, big biceps. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
So what do they do to make me believe that that's going to happen? They provide all the equipment. So if I wanted to work biceps, glutes, whatever muscle on my body I want to work, they have the equipment for it. They fulfill a functional goal. Right? Now, Vasa is also $10 a month. So it's extremely cheap, and it's a really nice gym for only $10 a month. And so that $10 a month price point is the economical goal. It's very, very cheap. Right? And so throughout their marketing campaigns, when you walk into the gym, they're trying to upsell you on personal training. They're hitting on economical and functional over and over again until you start to get results. And once you put in the work and start getting the results, you start to associate Vasa with that emotional feeling of being fit, being healthy, feeling good. Maybe you're getting a lot more dates, you're running further. You start to associate Vasa with that. And if you lose Vasa, you lose that feeling. And they just gained a lifetime customer.
That's interesting. Yes, I see how that. Now that you're saying that, because it's so subconscious, right? I'm a member of Vasa. But now that you're saying that, yes, I can see exactly how they're playing on both. And all of their marketing plays on both. So that makes sense. Yes, okay.
And so let's look at Activia. Activia is a national yogurt brand. Like I'm sure you guys know who they are. Green little cup. And when they really hit the market and they really started to push things and started to capture market share, what they decided to go after was digestion, right? Because yogurt has probiotics, right, that helps with digestive tracts. And so if you are a baby boomer and you see Activia, you automatically associate it with being healthy.
Right.
But it's a yogurt. And it's the exact same yogurt. They may have a couple different ingredients, less sugar, I'm not sure.
Right.
But it's a yogurt. It's the same thing as Yoplait and all the other ones. But they position themselves as, I want to be healthy, I'm going to eat Activia.
Right.
I'm going to be active, Activia.
Right.
Right? And so throughout their marketing, it's economical, it's really cheap, right? It's less than $1 for a cup. And it's also functional because you can literally have cup-sized things that you open. And so you eat one of these a day for breakfast, and it's functional because it has the probiotics. It does what it says it's going to do.
Right.
But then you start associating every time you feel good with Activia.
Right.
So if you stop eating Activia, you stop feeling good.
Right. And I had no idea that you are also right on that. And I didn't even digest their brand to pull that out. But it wasn't until a doctor said, well, actually, all yogurt has the same culture, that I was thinking, really? Because I buy Activia because I literally do, because I was thinking, oh, it's the only yogurt with probiotic, and it's not. Exactly. It's not. So yeah, I can see. I see exactly what you're saying. Yes.
Yep. Kombucha, yogurts, tons of other foods have probiotics in it.
Right.
But it's so simple to consume that that's what they're targeting.
Right. So they chose one thing in their brand to pull out to make. To help consumers understand what they're doing. Yep. So I guess I'm also missing that piece.
Let's translate it back to you.
Yes, okay, that's so interesting that you.
So you have a good saying that you should remember: a confused mind will never buy.
A confused mind will never buy.
And so when you enter this world where it's literally so creative, and you have colors, black and white, old sketches. I don't know all the art terms for them, but it's literally like you have options for everyone, and they're beautiful artwork. But in a consumer's mind, studies have shown if you're a male, if you go over 3 choices, 3 to 5 is kind of the happy, good point. If you go over that, you will not buy. you walk away. And so if you think about a couple of years ago when Mountain Dew, they would always do these contests where it's like, hey, we're going to offer 10 different choices and you guys are going to go vote on what drink you like the best. It's only going to last 3 months and then we're going to take all those away. Right? And then they went back to just Code Red and the regular green Mountain Dew.
Right.
Right? And eventually their model has changed over time as they've developed the sub-brands more. But this was their strategy to launch these sub-brands in so they could diversify their product offering. And so to translate that, because that's kind of technical terms, they basically said, we're going to let you guys vote on what you like the best, and we're going to slowly introduce you to it, and then we're going to take it away. And then in the future dates, we're going to give it back to you for only 3 months again. And it's going to spike sales without lowering their product value, right? And so same thing with Head and Shoulders, right? They have tons of different brands, like different
options
scents,
within
options and stuff like that. And a lot of the time, like studies have shown, people walk away from that because it's like, I don't know what to choose.
Right.
For women, it's 5 to 7. So you can give more choices to women than you can to men, right? Because men are really simple.
Right.
Right, stereotypically.
Right.
So how do we take this wide assortment and narrow it down so people don't get confused and we hit on their functional, economical, and eventually get to their emotional goals through Instagram so they buy,
How do we do that?
right?
Right.
So you have something called the situational theory of publics. Now this is a PR term, a public relations term.
Okay.
I'm throwing a lot at you.
Oh, I'm going to rewatch this so I get it all. Yeah.
It's recorded, so you guys
This
can
is
rewatch
great.
it too.
Yes.
But think of a pyramid. Okay, it's not a pyramid scheme or anything like that.
Right.
It's a reverse funnel.
Okay.
So at the very bottom, you have your agnostic people that just do not care, right? They don't like writing. They don't send cards, and maybe they don't even have family or friends to send cards to. How sad that is, but like, there's people out there that are like that. They just really just don't care.
Right.
And if you spent $100,000 on marketing to that group of audience, you would not convert any of them. You'd waste $100,000. So every penny spent to them is a penny wasted.
Correct.
Right? So that's why knowing your target audience is so important so you don't waste money. So on the bottom you have that. Next step up, it's a pyramid, right? So it's getting smaller. You have people that are just unaware. These are people that could be your target audience, or maybe they're agnostic. They just have no idea who you are. But the challenge is in your marketing campaigns to quickly weed out the people that just don't care. And you can do that by targeting in your Facebook ads and in your Instagram ads. Okay, but so you have unaware, and the next level up you have aware. These are people that are aware of either the problem you're trying to solve or are specifically aware of you. And then after that you have active. And the active are the people that are actively buying from you. And at the very, very, very top, like very tip of the pyramid, you have your evangelists. And these are the people that are literally taking these cards, going on Facebook and saying, you guys have to check out Chosen Creative. Like, this is the coolest company in Sugar House. It's hidden away, but you have to find it. It's like a hidden gem, right? These are the customers that you want because it's free marketing.
Yes.
So, but those evangelists, at one point, they were unaware.
Correct.
And you can't skip levels, right? In the customer journey, you have to go from one stage to the next until you get to the top. So as our jobs as marketers and small business owners, we have to get really good at developing our customers.
Agreed. And are you developing customers, meaning like walking them through the experience of our online, or walking them in? How are you getting them through those levels?
That's good. So this is what changes for every business, right? So if I was unaware, okay, of all of this, and 2 weeks ago I was, until you showed up at 1 Million Cups, and I was scrolling through Instagram, and I was just looking at hashtags, and I saw Chosen Creative, right? All of a sudden I become aware. And that's how I go from unaware to aware. But unless it was engaging content, I'll forget about you in literally 4 seconds.
Agreed.
And I jump back down to unaware, right? And so how do you get someone to move up to aware so they know who you are? Now, that's why brand building is very expensive.
Right.
And that's why a lot of businesses will just buy other companies because it's cheaper to spend billions of dollars to buy a company than it is to start from scratch.
Right.
And that's where small businesses, we face a huge challenge. Because how do we move people up that without spending $1 billion, right?
Because and you correct me if I'm wrong, but brand recognition does come from word of mouth. It really does.
Yes. So for small businesses, this is huge. Studies are all over the place on this, but they're always above 50%. So, and you can literally start polling people as they walk into your store, and I bet you it's going to be around 50, 60, maybe even up to 70% of the people that walk through the store will not have heard of you on Instagram, will not have heard of you on Facebook,
Right.
but because their friend told them about you.
Right. Yesterday we had a lady that follows me on Instagram come in and shop and then reposted everything that she bought, and it was so amazing. We picked up another 10 followers off of her following, and they must have been people who were like-minded, and a couple people said, I would love to go and shop there. I love paper, I love stationery. But it was her kind words saying that about our brand that really made an impact.
Yep.
And I would love to translate that online, like, because there are people that buy from us online. There's shops that buy from us around the nation. So how do I convert those people? I have to obviously focus on one. I'm not sure which one would be the best though, right? Online, I have millions upon millions of people. Salt Lake City, there's several million here. How many are here? About
I think in all of Utah, we have about 4 million.
4 million?
Yeah.
So, right, and granted, people won't be coming from St. George, so maybe my best route would be to capitalize online.
Maybe.
See, that's the question mark, right? That's the question mark that I feel like I consistently have is which direction to go. So then I just try to hit it all. I just try to do it all. And it's just not effective.
And it's a mistake to do it all.
And it's a mistake to do it all.
Right? Because if you listen to these big influencers, they'll say you should be on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter,
Yes.
YouTube. You should be on all these different emerging platforms so that you can build up your audience by the time it gets big and you're big. But the thing is, you don't have time.
No, and I am on all of those platforms. I just don't work those platforms.
Right. And so we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
Let's go back to the situational theory of publics, and I'm
Okay.
going to tie it back into your question.
Okay.
Right? So word of mouth is extremely important, right? And so one tactic to get people from unaware to aware is events. And I'm not talking about going to trade shows and setting up a booth, because that's a cold contact.
Right.
And the difference between a cold and a warm contact is one was introduced to you, and the other is you're introducing yourself to them.
Okay.
Right? So think about if I was in high school and or college, and I was at the gym and I saw this girl that was just absolutely beautiful.
Right.
And I walk up to her and I try to hit on her. Well, then all of a sudden I become a very stereotypical dude at the gym
Right.
that's going to get turned down.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
No, right,
But
right.
what if I see her talking to someone I know, and I go to that person after and I say, hey, your friend at the gym, she's beautiful, I would
Right.
love to get to know her, could you introduce me? Then all of a sudden her friend is saying, hey, this is Keaton, you should get to know him, he's a really cool guy. And then I have a fighting chance,
Right.
right? It's the same thing for business. So if you have people that are talking about you, posting about you, they become warm leads rather than cold.
Right.
And depending on how warm they are, completely depends on their experience. So one way for small businesses to get the word out is to create experiences in real life that people want to talk about. Right? So you're already doing this, you're hosting an event once a month or?
Once a month.
Once a month, okay. And you said 30 people show up to it?
So we have 30 people who come and go, right? But it's usually a core group of 15 ladies because that's what we can fit in here, right?
Right.
And then sometimes people are out of town and so on and so forth. But then they also will buy kits online if they can't make it.
Right.
And so they're always getting the Utah letter writing kit.
Perfect. So when you have that audience here, you have an opportunity to create a social experience for them.
Correct.
Right? And now we're going to double dip here. Okay? And we're kind of jumping all over the place because that's how you develop a brand strategy.
Yes.
Right? It's not a system you just follow through.
Right.
You have to brainstorm. So we have 30 people, 30 typically women in here. And how do we get them to post about Instagram and show how awesome their experience is? So let's start before they even walk in the door. You have Facebook events, right? And Facebook is really trying to push their event platform. Their new thing is groups. So we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Okay, I don't think I know about that.
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago they came out, and I kind of predicted this for the last year, but they said, like, we're going to put a huge emphasis on groups. And so you'll notice in your news feed as you're scrolling now that it says, here are the groups you're a part of, like, invite your friends to join these groups. Right? It's literally, Facebook is literally telling if you have a group, the people in your group to invite more people to your group.
Interesting. Okay, maybe I'm part of groups and don't know, and those are where you're by invite only, correct?
No. Some are.
I don't think I know what groups are. This is interesting. Okay.
Okay.
So like a group me app, right?
Not like Meetup.
So Meetup, I mean. So it's not like Meetup. It's virtual?
Yeah. So in Facebook, you have a group, and you could, like, I think you should start a group if you haven't already about Chosen Creative. I was going to say Collective Creative.
It's okay.
Chosen Creative. I'm sorry about that. Where you literally have people to get together, and you're giving them a platform to talk to each other about the power of the pen. Right? You're no longer creating a platform somewhere else for them to sign up to, and then maybe they never check they never log on if it's a web app or if it's an actual mobile app.
Right.
They delete it after a couple of days. They're always on Facebook. So you're giving them that spot to sit there and talk to each other, come up with ideas, and then when you have events, you can post about it. So you're literally messaging everyone in that group at once.
I love that.
Now, granted, it's not going to show up on everybody's feed.
Correct.
But you have the power of social. If you send it out in an email, everyone gets it in their inbox. Whether it's spam or not is a different story. But if it's in the group, you can have people commenting on and talking about it, and that's how you build brand recognition in your small niche very quickly, because you can literally have a one-on-one conversation with your customers.
I love that.
Right?
I love that.
So you create a Facebook page. Let's go back to the event.
Okay.
Create a Facebook page for your business. You create an event, and you start inviting everyone you know to that event. Okay? And you say, hey, like, we're very limited because of the space. You have to RSVP or you will not get in.
Right.
Like, I'm so sorry to turn you away. You can come pick up a kit, but, like, we just don't have enough space right now.
Right.
Right. And that creates scarcity. So people want to jump on it. They want to say, like, hey, I want that spot. So they reserve for it. Right. And then to get the word out to their friends, what you can do is say, hey, if you share this event and let people know that you're going to it, we're going to throw in an extra, maybe it's like a notebook or maybe it's an extra pencil or something that's kind of unique in your kit when you come on Wednesday.
I love that, yes.
And you can even tie up the event to Eventbrite, which is an app to where you can charge people to come to the event. So once they pay, you're serious, like, you reserved your spot.
Right.
And that's how you reserve your spot. And so if they share it, well, now you're getting more of their friends knowing, hey, Susan or Karen or James is very interested in this, and they're changing their personal brand to align with your brand. Now everybody knows, like, hey, this guy loves writing.
Right.
And so if they have a question in the future about writing, they're going to come to James or come to Karen or whoever, and you're going to come up in the conversation. And that's an instant referral. That's a way to increase word of mouth traffic.
Okay.
Right? So we have this event, and then once people start coming into the door, what you do is you create a contest. And you don't have to create a contest. There's millions of ways you can do this.
Right. And is this a contest online or a contest here in the shop once they're here?
Contest here in the shop.
Once they're here.
Right? And it could be, if people are literally designing their own cards, that and you have to be very careful here. And I don't think this is the right contest. I don't understand your business well enough to come up with one.
Right, but I understand the theory behind it.
So let's say that your audience was very competitive, and I don't think they are, but let's just say they were. You could come up with a contest where it's, if you get the most likes or shares, your next event will be free. Or you'll get a free buddy pass to bring a friend in, even better.
I love that. Right.
And so then that way they have a girls' night out. They can bring their husband, they can bring their boyfriend, or just their mom or relative or whoever, and they're literally bringing people into your store because of that contest.
Right.
And you can even just do, like, hey guys, like, if you take a picture and post this on your Facebook, you're going to get $5 off next week or something like that. Better yet, what you could do is set up a camera and take a picture of everybody and get everybody's Facebook page and tag them in it when you post it. And then that way it shows up on their friend's feed and they're like, oh, like, Karen.
She was at something.
This seems really interesting, really fun. Look at that social proof that gives your business, right? So and you just come up with different ideas. How can I take the physical world and make it social?
And bring it in here, yeah.
Right? And then by doing that, that's going to increase your organic growth very, very quickly.
Okay, so it's bringing my shop and the experiences in the shop to a social setting, which pulls in a higher number of followers.
Yeah. And so that's for an event, right? And if you're sitting at home and you're watching this and you're like, I can't throw events, I don't have a space, like, don't worry, that's okay. You're doing business with customers every day. Every time someone walks into this door, you have a chance to take the physical world and make it social.
Correct.
Right? And so what you could do is literally get a wall mount, take your iPhone, your Samsung, or whatever, and put it up there and just hit a Facebook Live video. And just ask them first if it's okay.
Yes.
And literally you take your just digital audience, what it's like to go through the sales process, what it's like to come in here, choose a card, maybe create one, maybe design a graduation announcement with you. And so that way, it's a great way to give like very interesting content, but it also shows potential customers what it's like to be a customer.
Right.
Right? And then a very interesting thing happens in the brain. If you see something, or if you imagine it, you can't tell the difference. Your brain literally can't tell the difference between what was real and what was imagination. And so if you're giving these experiences of saying, hey, this is, my name's Camilla, like this is my shop, this is what it's like, they've literally in their brain, they've had that experience before. And so it's always easier to keep a customer than it is to get a customer.
Right.
And so why not just create customers and like tell them in their minds, like, hey, you're already a customer. You've already done this, you know what to expect. You literally just have to walk in and do it in real life.
I love that.
Right.
It breaks down the science behind what I'm even seeing in brands. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so once we do that, that's building your social following. We just move people from unaware to aware.
Right, right.
Okay, and we're hitting on functional. People are coming in the shop because they literally want to feel part of a community.
Right.
Right, so that fills the functional goal.
Right.
And the economical, it's a really cheap girls' night out. It's very cheap, blah, blah, blah. Or it's a very cheap way to make someone know that they really matter to them.
Right.
Right, tie in that emotion. So that's your economical goal and your functional goal. You're hitting over and over again. And then the way you design your kits and everything is to fulfill those emotional goals. To whether you're giving that card to significant other, a partner, or a mom, or your son who just graduated, whatever it is, whatever the theme is, but then that experience they have with that person, that emotional experience, is now associated with your brand.
Right.
Right? And so you keep doing that over and over again, and then they start associating, hey, if I want these experiences, I have to go to Camilla. I have to go to the shop. Okay? And so that's unaware to aware. And then
and I'm building all of that through video, live experience. I just want to make sure I'm recapping live experience and interactions that I have with people even online. So you're saying that as I'm posting these videos or as I'm making videos, the person watching them would potentially feel like they've had this walkthrough or they've had this experience, or people watching this feel like, oh my goodness, I just watched that. I feel like I know based on what you just said, this is an experience, correct?
Yeah, so you basically make it so they've been here.
Okay.
Right? But now you're probably thinking, okay, I don't have the camera equipment, I don't have mics, I don't have all these things to really deliver on that experience.
Right.
But the thing is, everyone's on their phones, so your video is this big.
Right.
Right? It doesn't have to be 4K. It doesn't even have to be 1080.
True.
So what Facebook does, because a lot of people pay for data, as you're scrolling Facebook, your videos that auto-load for the first 3 seconds are at 720. And so what that means is they're not the highest quality video, right? 720, 1080, 4K.
Yes.
Right? And so literally your iPhone 5 is good enough.
Okay.
Right? It doesn't have to be the 10X.
For the pixel, because there's something with pixels, correct? When you post a video, is there something that I don't know. I had heard something one time that your video quality has to be at a certain amount in order to use it in Facebook ads. I don't know if that's true.
So Facebook ads is different than just organic posting.
Okay.
Right? So if you're running an ad, I would put a little bit more effort.
Okay.
And you can use your phone still. And again, it's not that hard to borrow a friend's phone if you don't have one that goes to 1080.
Right.
And it's like you have to have a phone from 10 years ago.
Right.
15 years ago if you don't have one that goes up to 1080.
Right.
So that shouldn't be a problem.
No, it's not.
But so pixelated videos, that's when you like load something that's 320 or something like
Right.
that, and it's trying to play at 720.
Okay.
Because it's like stretching the video. But that's why you can literally film in 720 and be completely fine.
Okay. Good to know.
And then the only time it's going to matter is if they're on their TV on Facebook. But how many people do that?
No,
How
I
many
don't think
people
I've
are on
ever
their
done
TV
that.
on Instagram,
I don't
right?
think I've ever done that. Yeah.
Right. And so it might work for YouTube ads rather than Facebook ads. Something to think about, especially because people have 4K monitors. Sorry,
It's okay.
Lost my train of
No,
thought.
but that helps me know that it's okay for me to use my iPhone 7.
Yeah.
And it's okay for me to have it look organic that way when I'm
Very
just
organic.
Because I am like everything we do is down to earth. Everything that we do is sentimental and it means something, and we're transparent in everything that we do in our shop,
Yeah.
And with the letter writing club, it's like a healing moment when someone comes in and says, I'm going to write somebody in my church. I know their daughter is suicidal, or I'm going to write, and it's just even though we may not know what to say to one another, it is sentimental to write it, because you can write it without having to look at the person and just be like, I'm at a loss of words. I'm so sorry for your loss, right?
Right.
So I want to be able to build that experience. I want people to be able to say, hey, they have a card they have 3 different sympathy cards this month, or, and
Exactly.
yeah, I want to build that. So to me, this kind of narrows that gap then as to when people come in or I'm dealing with custom stationery or custom projects, what do we say and how do we say it? Yeah.
Exactly. And so when you're doing, you're documenting. You're not creating content.
Right.
Like we're here today creating content.
Correct.
And it's taking 2-3 hours out of my day, which is completely fine.
Yes.
But like if I was really strapped for time, I couldn't do that every day.
Right.
Right. So I have my camera set up, I have my mic, we have 2 cameras, and we're documenting. Well, sorry, we're creating now. And so in your business, you want to get in the habit of documenting instead of creating.
Okay.
And that literally means when a customer walks in and they buy something and they're really happy about it, ask them, hey, can I take a selfie with you to post on Instagram?
Right.
And you just take a selfie and tell them about their story, tag them in it, and you literally just have your one post. If that's all you can manage, you have your one post for the day.
Right.
Right. And it's not, it seems scary, and it can be, if you're very shy in front of the camera, but maybe just take a picture of your customer if you are.
Right.
Right. And you have your content to post, and it becomes very easy. And if you're working with freelancers, you have organic, natural, authentic content to send to them that they can then take and apply marketing tactics to it and apply all these different theories that I'm talking about to really expand your reach.
Right.
Right. And so, okay, back to situational theory of publics. Unaware, aware. Now you have your audience that is aware of you. And there's tips where you throw on a Facebook pixel, which is basically Facebook tracking customers on your website.
Right.
So that you can retarget them and your ads will be better. And that's a conversation for another time.
Because that is one of the things that I was really excited to talk to you about. So yes, we'll
So
talk.
let's
I'd love
talk
to talk
about
about that.
But so how do you get people from aware to active? And this is the biggest jump, right? They literally have to pull out their credit card and swipe it or type it in online.
Right.
Right. And so there's a lot of different sales tactics around this. But the beauty is, if you've been warming up your audience, you're not trying to sell someone that just randomly walked in the store that was bored for lunch or something like that.
Agreed.
Right? They know what they're getting into. They know why they're on your website. Right? And so for you, I haven't had the opportunity to look at your website yet. But if you have different landing pages, you can really narrow down those choices. So if you're...
And a landing page is like
Great question.
my menu, because like when people log onto my website, they immediately go to the shop. It's just they're immediately on the shop. And then I have a separate landing page for the Utah Letter Writing Club. And it has its own URL, right? It has its own website. There's not product on it, but it'll point a person over to Chosen Creative.
So that's similar. A landing page has one focus, to convert.
Okay.
Right? And so what does conversion mean? Do you want a phone number? Do you want an email? Do you want someone to just attend an event? Do you want someone to like your Facebook page, Instagram page? Do you want someone to purchase an actual product? Right? You have all these different landing pages that you can kind of filter into what is your strategy. But if we're bringing people already over from Instagram or Facebook to your website, chances are we don't want to send them back.
Right.
Right? We don't want to take people from Facebook to our website back to Instagram because we're going to lose them.
Right.
So going off our strategy that we're building here, to the website, chances are they're probably not going to purchase because they just don't know you well enough.
Right.
And if they do purchase, it's because they've been following you for a while. So how do we make them more warm? How do we increase the knowledge, the relationship between your brand and them on a landing page?
Yes.
Right? So we have fantastic content in here, and it might be that you have, like, if people in your niche really want to design their own cards, maybe you have a book that teaches you how to design your own cards. Right? And so, or a course, and that's going to take a little bit more time to develop.
Right.
But they go on your website and they enter their email and they become a part of your course. And now, as they're going through the course, they're literally becoming.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's okay.
Come on in.
Thank you. I love our little male guy. He's so great to us. Oh.
So as you're going back to it, as they're on the landing page, they convert over, they give you your email, they sign up for your course or for your ebook, and as they're reading it or going through the course, they're literally becoming more familiar with you. They're becoming familiar with these fantastic designs and what you're trying to teach them. Now, to be an artist, it doesn't happen overnight.
Correct.
Right? And so giving away your theory of how to, draw these, you're not giving away the ability to sell the card.
Right.
Because if you have someone who is that good of an artist, they're going to design their own card anyways.
Right.
Right?
Right.
They're one of the, they're like unique as in they don't know, they're unique as in they're not apathetic because they're very into your space.
Right.
But they're probably not going to purchase.
Right.
Right? But if you build that relationship with them, when friends and family ask them, hey, how do I get your designs or how do I get something similar to this, you get referred to them, right? They refer you to that person.
Right.
And so by giving away a course on how to do that, if you're not a good artist, you're going through and you're having a lot of fun, you're designing these cards, and you look at it after and you're like, wow, that's not that good. Or that is good, but I want something better.
Right.
And they know that you're authentic, they know your personality, they know your brand values. And so chances are that they're going to purchase from you at that point. But now the question is, how do you get them back on your website?
Right.
Right? And so one way you could do it is throughout the ebook, you have links where you can download templates from your website. Right, so every time they go on that template, they become more familiar with your URL, your brand name, and you're increasing that those touch points. Okay, and then another way to do it is if it's an e-course, you have a contest at the end where you literally submit the artwork, and then you choose one to print and to do a kit with your live event. Or something
I like that.
And so
yes.
now you're telling everyone who's come to your landing page that are in different states, maybe different countries, about your events, and that they can literally order a kit online, and then you can do a live video during that event to teach how you're creating these, and so they can purchase that kit online. And now all of a sudden we're not limited to 30 people in here because you have people from all over the world doing the kits.
I would love that.
Following online.
Right.
Right.
And this is a part that I truly do not understand. I mean, I have a YouTube channel, but I don't use it. I would love to post content and figure out ways to pull people to all of those channels. I mean, honestly, that's a dream. If that, I would love that, because what we do in when we have the class once a month for the Utah Letter Writing Club, and sometimes we have art classes in here too.
Right.
But for the Utah Letter Writing Club, I would love to show the experience for people who can't be here. I mean, we're already shipping them the kit, but I would love for them to see like what we talk about, and we always have a topic, and it's always regarding like healing and words and sometimes poetry. I would love to capture that. I really would. So you're saying while we're in those events, one of us can be recording and we're just uploading, or we're streaming live,
Yep.
or we're uploading that onto our YouTube channel for people to be able to watch it later?
Yeah, so YouTube has a live feature. LinkedIn does, Facebook, Instagram does. I'm not sure if Pinterest does. But Pinterest is more photos anyways, so I'd definitely be on Pinterest if I were you.
Yeah, we're on Pinterest.
But they all have a live feature. And there's software that's expensive where you can literally stream to all of them, but I think that's overkill.
Yes, yeah.
But literally, you could go get a phone tripod, like the one I have right there, and turn on your phone, go to Facebook Live, hit record. And you can grab it, interact with it, talk to that audience, show what people are working on, how they're designing it, how these kits are, and all of that. And once a month, now you have, especially if you save that video, imagine if you take that video and you're teaching a concept of how to design, right? So like if we're creating your course now, right? You do 2 of your events and you teach the people here how to design it, and you do a Facebook Live video, and then you hop on Fiverr, hire someone for very, very cheap, to split up that video into course size sections, and now you have a course that you can give people, because you're literally teaching them how to do that kit. And so when they sign up for the course, they have a kit and the video to go with it, and it's not like you don't have to put a ton of time into it, because you're literally just recording your live event.
Right.
And then when they sign up, they get a kit shipped to them, and they get the digital content.
I would love that. I mean, this is a dream, what you're telling me. I would love that.
Right.
There is a huge, I mean, this is narrowing my gap. Now it's, how do I do all of that?
By posting every day.
Okay.
Right.
And the interesting thing is, I do post most days, but it's stills.
And that works really well for Instagram, because people love photos on Instagram.
Right.
And they're doing a huge push to video.
Right.
And if you look at statistics, internet is moving very, very quickly towards video.
It is. Which leaves a lot of entrepreneurs in the wind, specifically of a certain age group. I'm not gonna lie. Like my kids, everything they watch is on YouTube. I just really need to do away with cable. I'm not even kidding. Like everything they watch is on either Netflix or YouTube, and they watch a lot of YouTube channels. So at that point, how do I translate paper? I mean, and I can do courses, because of course, I mean, we do writing exercises and journaling exercises and sketch exercises. So at that point, I guess that's the one part I'm still kind of missing is, as I'm making this content, you're saying I break it up and I store it for later, or I'm posting things later?
Yeah, so you're doing it live in the moment. So if someone's following you, you're getting that traction and you're getting the benefits of the algorithm. But you can save it as well.
Okay.
And so when you save it, all of a sudden your events last 2-3 hours. Make sure your phone's plugged in so it doesn't die.
Right.
And now you have 3 hours of content. And that's a lot of content.
That is.
Chances are nobody's sitting on Facebook watching for 3 hours, right? But that's okay, because people are going to be coming in and out. You take that 3 hour content and you break it up. And let's say you want to do longer YouTube videos.
Right.
And so now you break it up in phases. Phase 1, we're going to learn X. Phase 2 is Y, and then Z. And now you have 3 hour long YouTube videos.
Okay.
That you got for free. You don't have to create them.
Right.
Because you did your event. And then you break up those YouTube videos into 15-minute long sections. Okay, and some of them won't work because a lot of it's going to be you walking around and not actually teaching.
Right.
But now you have 4 15-minute sections, 4, now you have 12 videos out of one event, and they're 15 minutes long, right? Well, people aren't necessarily going to watch 15-minute long videos for if they're just scrolling on Instagram or Facebook. So let's break it up even further. Maybe we go 5, 5, and 5. And so now 3 times, we have 36 videos that are 5 minutes long. And then maybe that's even too long. So we split those up into 2. We just created 72 videos out of one event.
Right.
Because we just broke them up. And then this way, on whether it's Instagram or Facebook, you can quickly post valuable content and it doesn't take you long at all. At that point, you can post 3 times a day
Right.
after one event.
That's amazing.
Right? And it's just literally taking large content and breaking it down into bite-sized pieces for each platform to play with the algorithm. Right? So now you have 72 pieces of content to post on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and the beauty of that is you don't have to post the same content on each platform because you can literally break it up. So if there's a reason for people to follow you on all these different platforms because you're posting different type of content.
Right.
Right? Because it's literally like, well, I already follow her on Instagram. Why should I follow her on Facebook? Now they have a reason.
Right.
It's not the same channel on every platform. Now let's really talk about the Pixel, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
So Facebook Pixel, it's kind of like if you had someone in here in the store, and every time someone walked in, they would ask the name of the person that walked in. Okay, and then when they leave, like they leave. Now the cool thing about Facebook Pixel is they get the name of that customer, the IP address,
Right,
the name of the device, really.
Right.
And because that customer is always on Facebook or Instagram, and it doesn't matter if once they log in with one device and then they go over to their computer, well, now Facebook knows that both the phone and the computer belong to that same person. And so if the phone came into your site on Facebook Pixel, well, it knows that it can show ads to the computer because it belongs to the same person.
Right.
Different IP addresses,
Right.
but the same person.
Okay.
Right? And so what Facebook Pixel does is you want it on your site, especially if you're a small business, because every time someone visits your site, and you can set up goals, and this gets a little technical. So if people convert on your landing page, Facebook Pixel can, on their clipboard, mark, oh, that person converted.
Right.
Okay? And then when you're retargeting with ads, and retargeting, what that means is they came to your site once, they're already a little warm, they know who you are,
Yeah.
and you're showing your ads to them again. It's not cold traffic.
Right.
Right? And so the real power of the Facebook Pixel comes from custom audiences. So if you think about all what Facebook knows about you, it's kind of creepy.
It is.
They know everything.
Right.
Right? They know literally with where you've been. They know who you hang out with. And I could really geek out right now and get into that. But to keep it simple, they know everything.
Right.
Okay. And so when you're on, when you have that pixel on their account, what you're doing is saying, hey, Facebook, these are my customers. These are the people that are really interested in my shop. These are the people that really, my designs resonate with, and these are my target market. I want to show my ads to people that are exactly like them.
Right.
Because you build that custom audience, you can then show it to people that are not them, but very, very similar.
So is Pixel already embedded in my Chosen Creative Facebook page?
So it's not on your Facebook page. That's a really good question. This is where it kind of gets complicated. And if you have a web developer, it's really easy for them. But when you're setting up your ads, you can grab a piece of code and you need to put it into your website.
Okay.
Right? And you put it into your header. And your headers are on every single web page. And there's a lot of Facebook courses. Maybe I'll do a course on how to do that.
Okay.
But on YouTube, if you Google how to set up Facebook Pixel, there's some really good tutorials.
Okay.
The main thing is it gives you that power to really track who's on your site, kind of like Google Analytics, but from a social standpoint.
I would love that. That would solve so many. That would solve so many question marks in regards to why people come over and not buy, or what it is they're looking at, and how to pull them back to purchase that piece. Maybe they were busy. Maybe they had to put down their phone. You know what I mean? And maybe they got off my site too soon.
Yep. And so, a couple years ago, the average time, the average points of contact it took for customer to convert was about 3, maybe 7, depending on what years you're looking at.
Right.
Now it's about 20.
Okay.
So that means that someone has to come into contact with your brand, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, your website, the courses, your events, 20 times before they convert.
Okay.
And so if you're getting on your website, someone comes to it and they never come back, well, that's why your conversion rates are so low, because they're cold traffic.
Right.
They don't know who you are. So using everything that we talked about, by documenting instead of creating, and throwing events to get that referral traffic to come in and to talk about you, and setting it up on Facebook events with Eventbrite, and making sure that people are actually sharing your content, throwing in freebies, all of that warms up your audience.
Right.
And then you get them to convert, to have a relationship with your brand. And at that point, through emails, through your Facebook group, you can literally say like, hey guys, I just gave this new design and I don't know if I want to print it yet. I just came up with this brand new design. I love it. And a lot of people I've talked to love it, but I don't know if I want to print it yet. So we're gonna make only 100 of them. And if these sell out, we'll make more. But if these don't sell out, this is a limited edition, right? And it's a fantastic design. And if just the idea that like, hey, this is a scarcity object, people will buy it.
Right.
You know, and you break 100, then it's like the Kickstarter model, where it's like, hey, people really want this, there's demand, so I'm gonna supply it. And if there's not, if you hit 98, you're like, oh, it's so close,
It's done.
It's done.
It's done.
Right? We have so many options here, we can come up with a new one. Right? And then maybe that's a landing page to convert people, saying, hey, you're on this special list where you get to see products that never hit the shelves.
Right.
And you get an opportunity to buy it when other people may never have it.
And the landing page is just that. It doesn't pull people over to your website to buy.
It's on your website.
It's on my website.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you can have so many different types of landing pages, and that's just an idea of one way to get people's information so that you can build their relationship with them.
Okay.
Right? That's in your state, rather than trying to sell people right away, I would build that relationship with them.
Okay.
Because it's a lot more lucrative to pay off a long-term relationship than it is to sell someone one time.
Agreed.
Right? So
Agreed.
if I'm only buying a card for Mother's Day once a year, how much does a typical Mother's Day card cost?
About $5.
$5.
Yeah.
So you're making $5 a year off of me.
Right. And we
Right.
want relationship. I mean, that's why we're here in the community. We could have stayed web-based, right? Solely web-based. But we also, we want a relationship in the community, but we also want a relationship with our online community. Because I interact a lot with people overseas. You know, we have a couple clients in the Czech Republic. We have pen pals all over the world. And we're interacting with them via the mail, but we're also interacting with them via social media.
Exactly.
And I want that experience. I want our customers to be able to reach out. I work the social media pages. Will it always be like that? Maybe it'll be me and another person in the business, right? But I am in touch with the public, and I want to know what they want to see. I want to know what we can deliver that they love. But it is a challenge online when this information is helping me.
Right.
But as a small business, you're saying, hey, I love you, I care about you, I want to tell you about what I'm doing because I know you love the people in your life and I want you to write them. I want you to document your words. And how do I translate that? So I can see through video how that could be more relevant and how my words, even though they're not written,
Make them written.
I can make, yes, absolutely.
Get a camera above your shoulder, and as you're designing, just do a time-lapse video of you designing. And that's how you take a still photo and turn it into a video.
I would love that. So, like the tripod, you're saying there's one that comes up? Okay.
And you can just have it bend right over your shoulder, so as you're writing, you can see kind of the process of that.
Okay.
And another thing, real quick, is as you're building up these communities, you could be selling kits to accomplish your mission to your online community. And so through these kits, you're not just selling cards that they can send,
Right.
but you're selling experiences where you're developing them and developing their relationship with that chosen person in their life.
Okay.
And so basically, your courses or clubs, your Facebook group, whatever it is, you have a mission that month. And the mission that month is like, hey, you guys can create this yourself, or you can purchase our kit. And what we're going to do is we're going to write to this person in our life. And I know a lot of people, and this is an opportunity for your audience to say, well, I don't really have a good relationship with that person. And then you can talk about it and say why, and you're having so much engagement on your posts, which is going to increase the eyes on it, right?
Meaning like this kit is for your husband.
This
This
kit's
month,
for
this
your-
month we're focusing on husbands and your relationship with him. And there's a card in here for one letter a week.
Yeah.
and write one letter a week, and we've sent some instructions to help you figure out some writing points.
And then, so it's that month challenge, right? And so they get their kit in the mail. They're really excited about it. And what you do to get them to make it social is you say, hey guys, if you go on Instagram and you record yourself opening this kit and you just do a live video, do use these hashtags so I can find it. I'll choose 4 of you, one for every week, and I'll hop on a live call with you and I'll help you specifically.
Okay.
And then you're recording that, and that's content. So now everyone who got that kit is more likely to hop on and share that they're doing these kits, sharing this club with their friends, more referrals.
I love that. I love that. The Utah Letter Writing Club that we do through the shop, I love that because our whole initiative was never to stay in Utah. It was always to try and help people globally, in the United States obviously, but globally, find their voice through writing.
Right.
So I love that, and I'm doing that. Like, as you leave, I'm doing that. Well, I'll have to call you to figure out how to like implement it all, but I'm going to do that.
And the main thing is document.
Yes.
Right. Document every bit of the process, and then you can hire someone in Fiverr if you're not tech savvy and you don't know Adobe Premiere or any of those video editing softwares.
Right.
And they can literally watch it and break it up for about $10.
I do use iMovie on my iPhone.
So if it works, it works.
And I'm able to chop up video and move stuff around. I mean, if that's okay.
But if you're really strapped for time and you want it done at a higher professional level,
which I would love.
There's people in India, Pakistan, Germany, all over the world that are really good at software, and they can do it in literally 5 minutes.
Okay.
And so they'll charge you $10.
Oh, I'll take
and you can just send
that
it
referral.
over.
Yeah.
And they do it.
Okay. Yeah. So
awesome.
we can talk about who those people are and how to find them.
Just
Okay.
Fiverr, Upwork.
Fiverr,
There's a lot of sites.
Okay.
But thank you so much for letting me come in and talk to you about your business.
No, I am so grateful. Thank you. Thank you for your help. It was
course.
timely, and I would have never met you had I not been at 1 Million Cups, and I'm grateful, so thank you.
Of course. Thanks a lot, Camilla.